India, the second largest country in the world, pulsates with a population of 1.4 billion souls, representing a staggering 17.7% of the global populace. But did you know, beyond the shores of mainland India, there exists a sprawling diaspora of approximately 32 million Indians? Previously, we showed you why the Indian diaspora was the largest around the world. And now we'll zoom into a special place nestled amidst the azure waters of the Caribbean. So join us as we get into the lives of Indians in the Caribbean. Let's go. Scattered across the Caribbean islands, over 2 million Indians have found their home, shaping the cultural landscape from vibrant Trinidad and Tobago to tranquil Guyana, Jamaica and Suriname. Trinidad boasts the largest Indian population, estimated at 670,376, followed by Guyana with 315,000 and Suriname with 148,443. Indians in the Caribbean have brought unique flavors to cuisine, distinct melodies to music, diverse religious beliefs, fresh vocabulary, unique dances, and vibrant festivals. But why did they go there? Let's dwell a bit on the history of how Indians were brought to the Caribbean. With the abolition of slavery in the Caribbean from 1834 to 1838, there arose an economic need to replace the formerly enslaved Africans to ensure the continued production of sugar from sugarcane. Indentured labour emerged as the practical and cost-effective solution. Termed indentured, meaning Indians had to work to repay the debt incurred for their free transportation to the promised land of the Caribbean. Indians who moved to the Caribbean under contracts suffered harsh and unfair treatment, similar to or even worse than what enslaved Africans endured. Since the first arrival in Guyana in 1838 until 1917, around 500,000 Indians moved to different Caribbean countries. Most of them were from eastern Uttar Pradesh and western Bihar, others from Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Tamil and Telugus. Some also came from Bengal and other areas in southern India, while others came from places like Pakistan and Bangladesh. After fulfilling their contract terms, numerous Indians opted to remain in the Caribbean by seeking alternative employment opportunities. Over time, immigrant communities gradually merged, and today, approximately 2.5 million people in the Caribbean trace their origins to India. These indentured servants turned settlers used their contracts to revive plantations and build their communities. By World War II, they became the majority in Guyana, Trinidad and Suriname, and minorities in other Caribbean regions. They kept their culture while embracing Caribbean life. They helped build their nations in the Southern Caribbean in fields like leadership, law, medicine and business. And due to poor governance, many left for Europe and North America, facing new challenges while supporting their homeland. Yet, wherever they settle, they maintain a distinct identity, proud of their South Asian roots and Caribbean heritage. Such can be seen in a portion of Liberty Avenue in New York City that is known as Little Guyana, Trinidad. Trinidad, now part of Trinidad and Tobago, sits just 10 kilometers off Venezuela's coast, covering about 4,385 square kilometers. Most of the original East Indian settlers were brought to areas like Caroni, Victoria and St. Patrick, where they've stayed. Sugar and oil have been the island's main money makers, fueling its growth and economy. In Trinidad and Tobago, Indian immigrants have made a big impact. What started as a cultural and historical connections has grown into serious business partnerships. About 42% of the 1.4 million people in Trinidad and Tobago have Indian roots. Nowadays, India and Trinidad and Tobago work together in finance, medicine, tourism and more. Indians in Trinidad and Tobago have gone from being workers to running their own businesses. They're leaders in politics, law, medicine and other fields, shaping the country's life in many ways. From the hard work of the past to today's success, their journey shows resilience and the power of entrepreneurship. Basdeo Panday, the first person of Indian descent to become the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, passed away at the age of 90. Panday served as Prime Minister twice, from 1995 to 2001, following significant elections that marked a pivotal moment for the Indo-Trinidadian community. Trinidad boasts Hindu and Muslim schools and celebrates public holidays such as Diwali and Eid al-Fitr. Individuals of East Indian origin have held esteemed positions such as President, Chief Justice, and the first East Indian woman, Kamla Prasad Bisasa, to serve as Prime Minister in the Western world. The Twin Island Republic also hosts the tallest Hanuman statue in the Western Hemisphere. East Indians in Guyana have also made remarkable contributions. They're the driving force behind the thriving rice and sugar industries vital for Guyana's economy. Additionally, they led various land development projects, shaping the country's landscape and infrastructure for the better. The present-day Indo-Guyanese are their descendants, and every year, May 5th is celebrated as Indian Arrival Day. In 2019, former President David A. Granger commemorated this day by unveiling the Indian Immigration Monument near the Berbice Bridge. Chedi Bharat Jagan, known as Guyana's father of the nation, was born to Indian indentured labourers and founded the People's Progressive Party with his wife. Also, the West Indies cricket team boasts players of Indo-Guyanese descent, including Rohan Kanhai, Alvin Kalicharan, Shivareen Chanderpaul and Ramnaresh Sarwan. Moving on to Jamaica, around 70,000 people in Jamaica have roots in India. They came as labourers between 1845 and 1917. Even though they make up only 3% of Jamaica's population, they're proud of their Indian heritage. Jamaican society has welcomed them, and their contribution to the country's growth are highly valued. May 10th is celebrated as Indian Heritage Day in Jamaica because it marks the first arrival of Indian labourers. A big part of Jamaica's duty-free business is run by Sindhi families. They're into jewellery, electronics and household goods. They've also brought in more workers to manage their offices. There's a growing group of Indian professionals in Jamaica, like doctors and professors. Many work in important places like the University of West Indies and government hospitals. They're respected and well paid for their skills. Suriname, however, became the most important country on the South American continent for Indians. In September 1992, the Suriname-India Joint Commission was formed to enhance collaboration between the public and private sectors of both nations. The Indo-Surinamese constitute the largest ethnic group in Suriname, making up 27.4% of the total population. According to the 2012 census of Suriname, there are 148,443 citizens of Suriname who are of Indian origin. Since 1998, Suriname has backed India's bid for a permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. On June 5, 2023, India's President, H.E. Mrs. Draupadi Murmu, visited Suriname at the invitation of President Santokhi. She attended the celebrations marking the 150th anniversary of Indians' arrival in Suriname as the chief guest. Celebrating Indo-Caribbean identity plays a pivotal role on the continent, and these celebrations remind the nation about who they are and what their ancestors had to go through to create an accomplished future for the Indian diaspora. In the dynamic landscape of Caribbean development, India has emerged as a key ally, injecting vitality and progress into the region. The Indian government invested $1.3 million to computerize the Secretariat of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, aiming to enhance efficiency and connectivity. Beyond bureaucratic borders, Indian companies have left their mark, winning prize irrigation infrastructure contracts in Jamaica, Guyana, and Suriname. Notably, they've woven dreams into reality, erecting majestic cricket stadiums in Guyana and Barbados, infusing $25 million and $30 million respectively into the heart of Caribbean sports culture. From Jamaica to Guyana, Trinidad to Suriname, Indian influence has transformed Caribbean cuisine forever. You'll discover a rich array of dishes like curry chicken or chicken curry in Guyana, roti, sada, paratha, known as bus-up shot in Trinidad, sahina, dalpuri, fuluri, doubles, amchar, chutney, baigan choka, curried mutton, goat, chana and aloo, chickpea and potatoes, and many more. Indo-Caribbeans comprise the largest ethnic group in Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, and Suriname. They're the second largest group in Jamaica, Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, Martinique and Guadeloupe. There are also small communities in Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico and the Netherlands Antilles. Small groups also exist in Haiti. Amidst the rhythmic symphony of calypso, reggae, soca and zouk that fills the air in the Caribbean landscape, there's another enchanting beat, chutney music. This captivating rhythm tells its own story, blending Indian melodies with the pulsating energy of the Caribbean. Among the luminaries of chutney music stands legends like Sundar Popo, revered as the king of chutney, alongside modern virtuosos such as Ravi B, Drupati and Ricky Jai. Indians introduced Hinduism to the Caribbean shores, where it now comprises 20 to 30% of the populations in countries like Guyana, Trinidad and Suriname. However, in most other Caribbean islands, Hinduism represents less than 1% of the population. The complex rituals and multiple deities of Hinduism stand in contrast to the simpler Christian practices widely observed across the Caribbean. In the Caribbean, language is shaped by diverse influences. Patois or Creole, a blend of French and African languages, is prominent. Jamaican Patois combines African and English elements. Papiamiento, found in Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, mixes Dutch, Spanish, and African languages. Additionally, Indian influence is evident with words like chana, alu, baigan, beta, beti, tawa, bilna integrated into the vernacular of islands like Guyana, Suriname, and Trinidad. The term ganja, a sacred herb that many call marijuana, originates from Sanskrit Indians who introduced ganja to the Caribbean, where its usage became widespread, particularly among indentured laborers in Jamaica, Guyana, and Trinidad. African workers adopted the practice, making it integral to Caribbean culture. Today, ganja is deeply ingrained in Caribbean customs and traditions. The Caribbean would be a whole different world today if it weren't for the vibrant influence of Indians. From the culture, the food, the music, the lifestyle, and even the diverse racial mix would all be drastically altered. Just think, there'd be no dal puri or sahina to tantalize our taste buds, no spicy chutney to add zest to our meals, or groove to our dance floors. The Caribbean would lose a bit of its zest, a dash of its colour, and a slice of its flavour without the East Indian influence. So let's raise a cheer for our Indian brothers and sisters who have left an indelible mark on the Caribbean, shaping it into the vibrant mosaic we cherish today. Indians have made their imprints all over the world. So don't forget to like and subscribe below to stay tuned for more fascinating insights. For further exploration into the diverse world of the Indian diaspora, check out our previous video on Indians in the world.